Buongiorno, welcome to today's episode of La Cucina di Roberto. As always, I'm your host Roberto, joined by my good friend and chef, Omar
How you doing,
Montanes. I do speak Spanish. Anyway, what are we doing today? This is, I call my Mexican breakfast mix. I actually lived in Mexico for a few years.
Did you?
All natural, healthy food there. So I learned to change the way I was eating. I started eating avocado there. This is something called jicama. It's a Mexican root vegetable. Here's our avocado, sweet potatoes, more root vegetables. These are really healthy for you. The reason I eat these, they fill your system full of this healthy fiber that we need. These are actually carbohydrates that our body can't digest. So we eat these help keep our digestive tract healthy. They feed the healthy bacteria. They keep us healthy. They live in our bodies, but they help us. They're like a pet in your house,
Yes.
you know? You can't live without them. You had a dog or a cat or whatever.
Yeah.
So what we do, what's in this dish? We have this is our jicama, this is our sweet potato. We actually cook this ahead of time. This doesn't take very long to cook. You peel this, you slice it up, and then you just, I actually put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, then I just throw it in a fry pan. Omar uses a cast iron fry pan. It's probably the best thing. It doesn't have a Teflon coating. You'll last longer, and the Teflons really turn out to be a carcinogen.
Yeah.
It's a bad substance, and it's actually in some of the gear they use as a firefighter.
Yes.
They're phasing it out now. The other thing that we put in this, we always have our beans in it. Beans are loaded with fiber. These we make in advance. These have to be soaked for 24 hours, then cooked in a pressure cooker for about 10, 15 minutes. So we always have them. I keep these in the freezer. So these are our pinto beans. We have black beans also. This is like making your own frozen food. It's healthy. This stuff is all organic too. Organic means there's less toxic chemicals in it. They don't genetically modify it. Whenever I take these out of the freezer, I always put a little bit of broth in there. That's like a stock. And then we'll pop it in here for a minute. All right, here's the deal. I don't cook anything. It takes more than 10 minutes. I'm 67. I'm not lasting forever. I got other stuff I need to do.
Can't waste no time.
Right, I got too many things to do. So, and nobody's going to listen to you. If you have a meal and it takes an hour to prepare, they're not going to listen to you. You could prepare this ahead of time. Keep like 2 to 3 days worth of stuff. Keep it in the refrigerator. I'm eating the same thing every day. This is my basic meal plan. But later on, we're cooking some incredible stuff. Like before we started cooking today, I told him like a couple of days ago, I said, you know what, Omar, I got this thing in my head, a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. I haven't had one in 10 years. He said, but I'm not eating bacon. He said, no, I got organic bacon. So he goes out and gets the organic bacon. We're going to do that in another set.
Yes.
That night I went home and made a chicken salad sandwich, and I said to myself, and I don't use mayo, I use avocado as a healthy fat. I said, can you imagine if this had a little bit of bacon in it? So before we started cooking it, I told him, Omar, let's just put this together, see how it turns out. What I really want to do is make it so I can have something incredibly delicious, and it was. And we only used one slice of bread, and it's gluten-free bread. It was very hard to find this bread, too. So maybe you shouldn't eat it all the time.
Maybe.
All right, let's throw this stuff in here,
Absolutely.
heat it up, and show them what we're going to do with this. You can have this for breakfast. If you don't want to have it with an egg, because that's really the only protein I use, then you can actually throw some rice in here, make like a rice and bean dish out of it, and we have some delicious chips here. These are delicious chips. They're grain-free. It's an interesting story. It's a family down in, I think they're in Texas, and one of the daughters had some health problems, and she couldn't eat like corn anymore. She couldn't eat grains. So the family got together, and they developed these recipes for making these grain-free chips. And they're actually, you brought these home, didn't you?
Yes.
And it was a big hit.
Well, I only had like 4 chips. The kids and the wife took over.
Did the bag make it home from the store or no?
Then I went and I bought 3 bags.
Yeah.
And,
People who know about it are,
and again,
they're fanatics about it.
these are very hard to get at the store.
Yes,
you can only
yes.
find the ones that are plain or
Right.
with sea salt.
Right.
And that's
Let's
it.
throw this in there. Just heat it up slightly. We're throwing our beans in there. Beans are adding fiber. Beans are one of the highest fiber vegetables that you can have. So yes, I eat it every day. That was pretty good. We're going to put some cilantro on top. We're going to put a little bit of hot sauce. So we have our jicama, we have our sweet potato, and we're going to have our avocado. Avocado is what they call a healthy fat. You could eat more fat in your diet. Olive oil, avocado oil, nuts. We have some pistachios we can
Yes.
put in our salad later.
That's good.
All right, throw it in there. That looks good. We'll get a little fork. We'll have a little feast, and we'll see
A
how
little
it tastes.
cilantro,
Yeah.
or you want the cilantro for garnish, Doc?
It's your decision. I would put it
I'll
on
throw a
top.
little bit, and then
Yeah, we got to put a little hot sauce on there,
we're
too.
gonna.
And then we'll have some chips. These chips are delicious. There's no grains here, which means it's not made out of corn. It's not made out of rice. It's not made out of barley. It's not made out of rye. That's what usually makes. Those are what we call grains. The thing about grains is you have to understand that it's the seed of the plant, and that's how the plant reproduces. The animals ate all the seeds, the plant can't reproduce. So there's natural chemicals in there, and that's what the whole gluten thing is about. There's natural chemicals there. You eat too much of it, actually makes you sick. So that was pretty good. Yeah, sometimes I don't have time to cook in the afternoon. I just take that stuff, throw it in the microwave, and
You ready?
I throw a little rice in there sometimes. It's almost kind of like rice and beans.
That. Here.
Yeah, these are delicious chips. These we usually have with our guacamole. We're going to do it in another segment. And a very simple guacamole recipe. You know what we'll do? Just throw it in here.
Oh,
And
throw
we'll
it.
just
Okay, perfect.
eat out of the bowl like you guys do in the firehouse, right?
Yeah. The potluck.
There you go. Oh, you did everything very artistically.
And then you go here.
The garnish adds as a color to it. It makes it look delicious, right? Oh my God, little slices of avocado.
That.
As you can see, I put all this stuff away. It's always ready to go. Let's put a little hot sauce on it. All right, why don't you do this? You're the chef. Because I'll pour the whole bottle on. Let me get a little knife for us. We'll cut it up. And on my own, I will actually eat a big volume like that. I need massive amounts of fiber. It keeps you healthy
go.
and
That's good right there.
you'll live a longer life. So large amounts of fiber, you should eat this stuff every single day. That's what we're recommending. Well, you eat small amounts in the beginning until your body gets used to it. Here's your fork, young man.
Thank you.
Let's cut up the egg a little bit and we'll split it. So let's give the TV audience a nice view of what we're preparing here.
The egg is over medium. You see that, Doc?
Oh, you didn't burn it out. You didn't overcook it.
There you go.
Yeah, overcooking things destroys it, right? It breaks it down,
Yeah.
it denatures it. You don't want to do that. You don't have to have an egg if you want, but if you don't eat a lot of meat, it is a source of protein. Okay, man, let's give it a shot.
Yep. I'll take that right there.
It's delicious.
Come here, just like that.
You know what it is? It fills you up because you have some kind of animal
Oh,
product in it.
that's great.
That's good. It's all natural, too. And this was just cooked today, so you can keep this in your refrigerator. Take it to work with you, just pop it in there.
This is awesome.
Does anybody bring food to the firehouse?
As far as,
For lunch. You don't want to eat till it's prepared.
yeah, some guys have their little lunch bags and stuff like that.
I bring my own lunch to work every single day.
Overall, we try to eat as a family.
Actually, and there's women firefighters also, right?
Yes, yes. Currently, we have 3 in our department.
Right. Well, you have to behave. Are really good.
That's good.
How many meals a day do you have in the firehouse?
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Oh, so that's a lot of work. So, I haven't told this story. I'm a little kid with my mother. We grew up, I'm from North Bergen originally. I grew up in Teaneck. I'm a little kid. Before I started school, I'm with my mother in the grocery store. She had to go shopping. So I see this guy there. There was a firehouse across the street, and I knew this guy was a fireman. I start following him around. You know how they show those TV shows? They show you what the firemen are eating, they're cooking the fire. I'm following this guy around. I'm seeing what he's buying and stuff. Then I finally went up and I'm like, hey, you a fireman? He said, yes, I am. What are you guys having for lunch today? He told me we're having hamburgers. We're having with some onions. We're going to make some
boy.
French fries. I went and told my mother, that's what we're having for lunch, Mom. So I'll have to make it back to that firehouse one day and tell them that story. So this was we call this our, what do we call this? I call this our Mexican breakfast mix. Mexican breakfast mix because it has a lot of things in it. So we have our chips, we have our egg, we have our avocado, we have our mix of jicama, sweet potatoes, and beans. And it's full of fiber, and that's the third dish we made with a lot of fiber.
Yes.
Okay? that's it. That's the end of today's episode. I hope you'll give this stuff a shot. We'll give you a copy of the recipe when you stop in our office. And I got to say thank you to Omar again. It makes it so much
thank
easier
you.
that I don't have to cook. I could just talk and he cooks.
Yeah.
When I can now eat and you could talk.
I like to cook.
All right.
I don't like to talk.
No?
No.
Okay, then we make a perfect team. Thank you for joining us today. That's today's episode of La Cucina di Roberto. That's Roberto and my friend Omar. We're cooking together. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.